On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, tune in for news about 20 million downloads and the rules for redeeming a free SSR ticket. That's right, it finally happened. And also Interlude Campaign 5, and also some stuff with some raids that happened that we hope you did okay. And we're just, hi, welcome to Tired Central. I'm tired, he's also tired, and we're the Sleepy Boys.
You're so sleepy. I'm also injured.
Yeah, so, that happened. Hi, Lucky. How you doing? You're Lucky, by the way, in case anybody didn't know.
I am?
That's what it says on your name tag, anyway.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that's a lie. Technically, right now, you're TLR.
Yeah, which stands for Tyrannical Lucky Rabbit.
And I am DJ Omega, but it's the Greek letter Omega.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in for what's up for why I'm a DJ right now.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have thoughts and words about that, but that's neither here or there. Everyone, welcome to, I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka Raid Burnout. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest in FGO's related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should listen to the Berserker.
Yes. Yidge. Yeah, that's a thing. We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, it is.
But first, since we're about 60 seconds in, I would like to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Agao Comics, Blacklist OG, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, Rogue Robin, Shawnee P, some guy named Bob, Soda Son over 2 Fair, and Video Gamer 75. And if you like what we do want to see some more, you should consider supporting the Patreon. You get access to episodes early and lots of other videos that really helps us out.
I'm giving someone some very sound advice right now, so excuse me. All right. There we go.
I was wondering if you just were being silent to counteract the fact that I was super fast.
Nope. I was typing. I was trying to remember how do I spell Cockney? I don't fucking know.
Cockney? But yes.
So anyway, yeah,
show.
we are here. It is the show. Hi everyone, how you doing? Hope your raids went well.
I want to say I hope everybody cleared the ladder, but also clearing the ladder was pretty easy, especially in that last bit. Which, I was shocked. I guess they knew what they were doing when they made the last part, like, 7 loops or whatever. Because that one did actually go on a while. I was like, holy shit, that's still happening?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know how many loops they did. Like, honestly, it was kind of a clusterfuck, and it seemed kind of a fever dream to me at some point.
There were 7 stacks of 7, I think.
I don't know.
It was a thing. I cleared the ladder a while ago. I stopped. Before we go any further, I would like to check in with everybody's favorite kohai real quick.
Senpai.
Excuse me.
起きてください.
That's right, everybody. It's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, where you're looking for pro tips. So, number 1, hey, don't forget about those free quests. They exist, and they do give you some apples if you clear them. Also, if you missed your chance to farm shop currency, that's where you get it. There's a lot of free quests in this I didn't realize. There's a shitload of nodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to take some time to beat those up later. And just a heads up, because as of this recording, it is May 1st. May's item exchange is Night Metals, Dragon Fangs, and Steaks again. If you still don't have enough steaks after a month worth of steaks and punching Vlad, you can get more steaks.
I'm sorry, I belched.
No, it's fine. I'm just doing... While there was some nothing happened there, I was just doing some shorty gestures. All right. Well, that's just our quick tip, so we can go ahead and move into Records from the Throne.
Yep. I'll start off, I guess. So, on my end, Sieg and Spartacus, Smile Protected. I threw a couple single pools, and Fran is now NP4. Something that I'm actually a little surprised of is one of my favorite CEs, Limited Zero Over, is now max. Thank you, Fran. You are amazing. Caster Gil has now reached the skill level of 10-10-10, and this is all thanks to this event. So I had to write this down because I'm still kind of shocked I did it myself. But last week when we started, I was talking about how we were doing stuff and, Lucky hadn't slept. Lucky decided to be an absolute utter mad lad and continue to not sleep. And in 23 hours, cleared the 2 million point ladder and was done with it. He then went on to completely be stupid and completely cleared the event shop. The only thing I was literally waiting for was the copies of Sieg to be unlocked. I think this is honestly the first time I have ever done that. I open it up and I just see, you can convert things. I'm just like, this is a weird feeling.
Yep. Just went crazy.
I did went crazy. This will probably not happen again.
Hey, sometimes you feel the burn. I am also, like I said, I'm done with the ladder. Mine was, I didn't put that in achievements because I figured it's honestly pretty easy if even if you're just pacing yourself. So I'm assuming most people did it. I got that in there. I haven't done the CQ or anything yet because the main story only opened up a little bit before we started the show, and so. But on my end, I did protect Kentucky and Sieg's smile. Thank you, Shop EXPs and monthly EXPs. And speaking of monthly things, I managed to get NP2 Chiron on monthly tickets. It was quite a move. So I spent my first my first ticket was actually my second NP on a VK Braun. So I'm like, that's cool. All right, I'm not mad at you tickets. Then I got a couple of event CEs. And then I got Silver Archer card turned gold. And I was like, oh, Chiron, what a pleasant surprise. And then I'm like, I got one ticket left. I'll spend on the same banner. We'll see what happens. Gold orbs. I'm like, am I going to roll a second Chiron? And it happened. So I'm like, okay, well, considering how monthly tickets usually go, that was pretty good. So I think we're done here.
Yep. Yeah, I have not spent my monthly tickets because I think it's I think it's tonight we switch over to Semiramis Karna. And I'm just all like, I want them both, especially want Karna. It's like, give. Lucky we'll be burning some Soul's Fire tonight. I'll let you people know what happens. There will probably be yelling of
the
some
ultimate
variety.
luck. Money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now it's time for the next thing, so you got a story to tell.
All right. So, honestly, I'm calling this is not all the words evil, but damn close. And I call this story, for the want of a bone, a garden was lost. So, while doing the raid events, the single raids were easy. I literally perfected my my Berserker Vlad setup with the damage CE. With a max limit broken damage CE, I could use my waiver buffs, Tomomo's arts buff, Vlad's own buff, and then the 20% MP charge you get from Mage Association to basically one turn any single target. I was doing anywhere between like 700 to 750k, and that wasn't even the max power. That was just the most efficient way because I didn't want to spend extra buttons with swapping out things and whatnot. So, with that, when we got to the second part of the raids, when we had the what do they call them? The Grail. The fake grails, the fake grails. I don't know what the fuck they're called. I can't even remember anymore.
There's the Greater Grail, and they had some dumb word for it that meant fakey man fake.
Fake. The pseudo. Was it pseudo? Whatever. The fakes. Mimicry. Thank you. The mimicries. I was like, well, shit, because while I had leveled Spartacus. He wasn't going to be able to pull out the damage that I needed at that moment, so I had to look at Fran. Fortunately, my Fran was level 1, so I was like, alright, fuck these raids. Fran, me, you, we go into the Ember Mines, we're going to do some shit. And so, let's see, I think I got her to level 60. I'm pretty sure it was 60. And I got fucking cockblocked. I got cockblocked by bones. I'm like, Fran, why do you need 20-something bones, right now? I literally just spent, half a day farming bones just to get Spartacus. Sparta fucking kiss. Max leveled. Why are you doing this to me? Alright, let me go over to... Oh shit, now I have to fucking deal with the goddamn raids. Oh no, now I have to do this random bullshit between Karna and Vlad, even if it's not already up. It's like, oh my god. I literally just said, nope, I give up. I'm sorry, Fran. I'm absolutely sorry. I am going to go back to double waiver strats, and I'm gonna pull out my level 100 Tomacat, and we're just gonna fucking end shit. So, some people probably got a lot of, love on their waivers. Like, fuck, I remember, when, the event, first started, I put a max limit broken, point ladder CE on my waiver. I got over, 3,000 points and one shot. It was nuts. But, I don't know, I kind of feel I don't know, I guess to be fair, it's not really the event's fault. Because this event was super fucking generous with drops and whatnot, but goddamn, sometimes it's just little things that add on just make you just want to be like, I'm so fucking done. I was just done. Honestly, once we started the mimicry raids, I slowed down so fucking much. I'm just like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna go play fucking Art Nights. I'm gonna go have a summer fucking vacation.
Yeah, basically that's what I did, because the thing is, the mimicry raids are better for coins. They are the best coin drops, because I was with double MLB in my spare, because, I don't know, maybe I should have put that in the good boy point section, but I got drops of everything, so I had an extra copy of the damage and not that I need the damage one, but an extra copy of the coin CE. So I was running 90% coins, right? Almost double coins, which meant you could get upwards of 20k coins per mimicry run, and I was already at like, I think I was over 1 mil, maybe I was over 1.5, because I've been doing a decent run of 1 or 2 of the raids every sequence, just to try it and to keep my score building up so I didn't have to bum rush anything, and to get the mats, because they're good. So I finished that segment up quick, and then I was like, alright, I don't care. The materials drops aren't really good for this section anyway. I've got a lot of QP right now.
You know what I think I would have rather have wanted for these raids? I wish they had just put both, like, the red and black version in the fucking raid instead of having the random, which one you gonna get? Because, I don't know, it just seems like it might have been a little bit more efficient, and maybe a little bit more challenging. I don't know. But, yeah, so, like, honestly, like, I've barely touched FGO for, like, the past, so, like, what, I want to say, like, 4 or 5 days? Because I said, I made my 2 million in the first day, after which I was working on clearing shops and gathering materials and QP. I didn't, like, put this anywhere in particular, but I have spent, I think, at this point, over 400 million QP, most of which I made in event. Jesus fucking Christ. And I said, we're probably going to talk more about, I don't know, I guess I could talk numbers now, we can talk details later. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now I only have, like, 90 million QP left, which is still a luxury by my standards, because I actually started thinking about it. I'm hearing a lot of people talking about how they have, like, 600 million QP, something like that. I'm just like, what are you going to use all that QP for? Because, like, I can understand people wanting to stockpile and whatnot, but things that if you're stockpiling it and not using it, what's the point of having it? You just want to feel
right.
nice.
And I mean, some of it's because it's kind of like how LMD is a lot more of us. To bring Arknights in it, we've already mentioned it. You're all gonna drink. But in Arknights, LMD is the kind of thing that balloons and swings down wildly, right? Mm-hmm. It's the kind of thing that once you have LMD, you're usually using it for something, right? Mm-hmm. So you go all the way down, and then you're like, well, shit, I don't have any LMD. I need to make some more. Mm-hmm. I've done that recently. We'll talk more about that on WhatsApp. QP is kind of like that, but I think that the way FGO works is it usually swings less, because the things that are really expensive are Grailing. Those extra 10 levels are really, really expensive in both terms of EXP and QP. Skills get really, really expensive, so if you're like a high-level rarity and you're going the full 10-10-10, it's expensive. But you don't do that a lot, right? No. Especially because 10-10-10, you also need lures, which are limited.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
And you need Grails, which are limited.
Yeah, because since both those things are based off a limited thing, you're only going to get so much. So if you want
if you did, before the raid event, spend all your QP, which happens to some people, like there was some, especially because it was the APOC extra EXPs all the time thing, and the better EXP rate on Apocrypha servants, if you were raising bonus servants, you might be down on QP, this will help you restock all the stuff. But if you're like me, for instance, where I still had, even though I did some crazy things, I think I still had over like 100 mil QP, now I have about 250 mil. Just from raids and occasionally throwing a Mona Lisa on there and stuff. So it's like, yeah, it goes ahead. Yeah, so Vesper, you were spent really low. One of our community members, Vesper, was just like, they had 90k QP, and so
I can understand having like a stock.
Right? If you're low, that's fine. And some people are like, I know I'm going to do stuff in the future, blah blah blah, because some people like to pre-prepare. We're not good at that, either of us.
Nope.
But some people like, I'm gonna spend all my money and my kidney for Scotty. I will make sure I have everything Scotty needs. And you're like,
10-10-10, day one.
And that's how those people do that. Lucky and I are not those people. We're bad at that. We're bad at saving, or we're bad at remembering.
Literally, Lucky is literally
and then sometimes it doesn't happen. Like, I was planning on stockpiling, like, Archer Embers and Riders maybe for Achilles and Chiron, but they didn't come right away, so I spent all those on other servants. So now Chiron's gonna have to wait probably a while, because I think after I do the free quests, I'm gonna focus on interludes that I need to do. So I don't know when he's gonna get leveled up. He will get leveled up because he's cool, and I don't think I don't have a super lot of single target archers. And so he does slightly different things, because I've got Chloe, obviously, and I have Tomoe, though Tomoe's a little weird with her, like, burn memes and stuff. But, and Chiron's supportive, so he'll fit into that team well. My usual trick with archers is just like, what if I just had shot a Venus at them? Will that work? Can I just shoot planets at them until they die? And it works, oddly enough. It works a lot of the time, because Ishtar has a fuck ton of attack. Oh my god. Woo. Anyway, but yeah, that's my usual solution to archer problems. Now that I'm averse to, kind of feel bad for Robin. He was definitely my go-to back in the day, and then Urali, and I don't use them as much anymore. Though if there's a male boss and you can get some bonus damage, Urali comes back out just because that trait damage Joe. But anyway, but Chiron's gonna have to wait for he can get leveled, because I need things.
Yeah, I need 9 more bones.
I need EXPs. God, actually, hold on. I gotta look. What are his mass requirements to level? What are you gonna need to ascend, buddy? Is it anything weird? Oh, no, okay, it's fine. I got all that shit.
Oh, yeah, I forgot, the last part of the story. The reason why I was so focused on getting Fran leveled up is because I wanted feathers so I could finish leveling Waver Skills, who's at 8, 10, 10 right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like...
So Chiron's pretty basic. He needs 6 horseshoes, 8 pages, 6 total spirit roots, and 4 scarabs, and I got all those. Now, his skills are a little bit bullshit, because for skill level 9, he needs 48 stingers per skill. 48 needles.
Well, you should be 8, 10, 10 now, Vesper. Should be, but at one point, yeah, he was 8, 8,
10. I didn't care. Lucky was consistently wavering and had an MLB point CE. That's all I cared about. Because, I gotta be honest, I understand why people switch up their supports, right? Kind of. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, God, it's really fucking annoying when you're like, okay, but me, the raid I'm doing, I need double waivers for. I would appreciate if you guys kept a waiver. Why does everybody suddenly have Merlin? Why are there only Merlins on my support? And then there's the ones where you're like, who put that Ilya there? Who did that? Who's done it? By the way, we're not even in the news. We're still in Not All of the World's Evils. I guess this is Robin retroactively go back in time and call this Not All of the World's Evils raid bitchin'. Or possibly start a new segment. I don't know. You figure it out. You read the time codes. I don't care.
Well, as I said, honestly, I think we're going to talk about, all the things we liked about the raid event.
Well, there'll be a little bit. I guess that should go in All the World's Evil, right? That is kind of our bad luck bitchin'. Because I will say this. I don't know how much you just got on tilt on the mimicry raids. Yeah. I got on tilt on a couple of raids, especially goddamn Semiramis. I don't know why, but something about Semiramis as a raid boss was just really frustrating for me. I think she had slightly more HP than everybody for some reason. It's probably those fat cow tits of hers or her giant hair. I'm kidding. I don't know. Maybe she's just fat. Whatever. But I think she had more HP than usual. She was on the higher end of the HP curve. And just, even with Berserkers, she wouldn't die fast enough. With Melt, even though my Melt is level 90, she wouldn't die enough. It's probably because Melt has bad skills, but that's because she's an alter ego, so she knows what she did. Which is, she demands skill gems of more than one class at a time, which is bad. It's a bad idea. Don't do that.
Only villains do that. Oh, wait.
So that didn't work. Shiba didn't work because I don't own a Tamamo, and guess what? Nobody was putting fucking Tamamo on their support list either.
Listen, I can only do one at a time,
I know,
dude.
It's okay, but at the same time, it's like, so nobody went for even though Vlad Arts is a strat, nobody doing that was like, I have a Tamamo I'll put on support. It was all waivers and Merlins. And obviously, if I pick like a Sanzo or something, then even though those were super rare, I can't double waiver, double Merlin or whatever. So ultimately I found double waiver, Mechaliz works, kind of. She could one turn it if she crit on the follow-up. Mm-hmm. But it was still very inconsistent, and it was just so annoying because the one, it was just, God, I think I said this point, you're a raid boss, your whole purpose is to die a lot. Die. Why aren't you dying? You should not give me this much resistance. That's not how the mechanics work. And I talked about last time, because we'd already started a little bit, that I'd already had to have some conversation with people about, how are you setting this up? But also, Semiramis was the only raid I remotely resembled needed, because she dropped chains, and that's the only thing I didn't have 100 of already. Now, obviously, I understand if you're leveling skills, having over 100 in certain mats can just vanish like that, but
Yeah, all
for
my bones
general
literally went into
purposes,
van.
it's still pretty normal, right? That's pretty safe zone. I was at like 40-something chains, and I'm like, God, if anybody ever needs chains, I'm going to really need these chains.
No, listen, I had my bone game was pretty awesome. I had like 150, and then Vlad ate them all. Literally ate them all.
Skills.
Yeah, and skills.
That's what I mean. Like, but for general purposes, I think having 100 plus is usually our safe zone, right?
Well, yeah, if you're just like doing worrying more about sentience and whatnot, yeah.
Like, if you have very few of a mat, you're like, okay, I definitely need some of this because I could get cockblocked on an ascension of all things, which sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so semi-raps put me on tilt a little bit, but I think I got a decent amount out of that, and so whatever. That was raids.
Yeah, we'll talk about things we like here in a bit, but first, we're gonna go into did you finish your master missions? This week is actually very, very simple.
I think I finished this the first day they came out.
I think I did too. So, your master missions for the week were obtain 50 hippo plushies, 50 fragments of the Iliad, 50 Sage's Chalks, 200 currency drops, and complete 5 Apocrypha quests and complete 10 Apocrypha quests.
So I wrote that simply, but we should clarify the 200 currency drops is any of those first 3 things.
Yeah.
So 50 of each individually, and then 200 of any of them. So raid like 4 times, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Like people were right. They really feed you the currency drops, especially since I rolled quite a lot on the banner. So,
like, people were definitely right. Like, this is definitely an event that event CEs help, but they weren't needed.
No,
Jesus.
the only event CEs that really mattered were the store ones, which thank God you could get all 5 of for both.
Yeah,
because when you got your first damage CE, that really helped you turn around the damage, and then once you get it to max limit break, any character with 200% damage can do anything, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, it doesn't matter. You don't need a bonus, but also that turns your AoE servants into single target servants. Like, for Lancer raids, I was just, hey, Mordred, you've got a 30% battery. What if I threw Waver Merlin at this problem? And guess what? At plus 250% damage, that works. You can kill a raid boss with an AoE NP. Excellent. And I was like, yes, good. This is why I have a level 100 10-10-10 Mordred. If only there was some kind of saber raid in here. Alas. Though I think honestly that would work. That would work in reverse if you did that with Siegfried, because Mordred should be a dragon. Though I don't know if some people actually did it, but if you wanted to be a complete madman, you could, because he is also a bonus servant. You could George Siegfried. Thou art a dragon. Or as I think the joke was in our Discord once, is like. George is with Siegfried over there, and he's like, hey, that guy over there, he's a motherfucking dragon. Get him.
As I said, Sieg is also a bonus servant, so if you did, I don't know how, like, the math would work with, like, NPs, but you could get a George Siegfried Sieg and just burn some fucking dragons, y'all.
You could, though I didn't try it because I didn't have EXPs until the monthly rolled over, but I heard that unfortunately Sieg doesn't, even with 100% bonus damage, Sieg doesn't quite hit hard enough without extra NP levels, which I'm like, that's sad.
Yeah, that's
I really wish they'd unlocked his NP levels, because like we talked about with welfares, and hey, heads up, if you left a comment about it, I have heard you. People like Welfare Corner. We'll continue to do that in some form. And probably I'll organize my notes better. But that really is the thing with welfares, right, is the extra NP levels for free.
Mm-hmm.
Which really count, so I heard that people were a little sad that he seemed to underperform a little bit.
Yeah, that only being NP, like honestly, SRs, that's I think where SRs truly shine, is since they're easier to get than SSRs. Generally, their NPs tend to hit a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm. Like, legitimately, depending on the build, or God forbid if he was a bonus servant, I could legitimately make a choice between my level 80 NP5 Emiya and my my Ishtar is level 100 with max skill, so that's probably not quite a fair comparison, but you know what I'm getting at. Like, say Tesla. My Tesla's NP2, but my Emmy is NP5. I could make a legit choice to be like, one of these could be better than the other, depending on the situation.
Yeah. As I said, when we get our rerun in a couple years, Sieg we might see some crazy things happen with Sieg.
Oh, yes. That'll be after he's had time to grow and get all his skills level.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, with the master missions, it was quite simple. Do the event, and don't worry, even though the raids are gone, you can still get all these. So if you haven't done them, you might want to get on it. Yeah,
make sure to get those out there. Because if you fucked up the ladder, you fucked up the ladder. I don't really think you can get a lot of coins otherwise. Not that if you were alive and conscious at some point in the week, you should have at least hit all the nodes for Sieg's ascension items and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because it's pretty easy to get to 1 mil. And then 1 mil to 2 mil, I think, is all just the bonus shit, like the lore and stuff. There is a CQ, in case you forgot. I just haven't done it yet.
I'm not sure I'm gonna do it.
I'd have to look at it. It's called Colorless. I think it has 1 or more rulers in it, and I think the damage CE still applies. So
let me see here.
Okay. So yes, so it's Ben K, David, George, Kintoki, and Amakusa. Amakusa has 2 bars, and if defeated, he will apply crit chance up and defense up to the enemy team. So you want to beat up everybody but Amakusa first, and then beat him up. With 200% damage on like Jolt or something, that's not crazy. I can probably do that in my spare time. Or just, hey, if you already have a Berserker strat, like if you're already rocking the Kintoki, go for it.
I'll give it a whirl here. Oh, that's right. I gotta do a thumbnail. That's right. I have things to fucking do.
Thumbnail in the middle of our thumb.
No, I got a cut on my thumb. I don't want a thumbnail there. Ugh. Anyway, so actually, now that I'm opening my art, guys, look forward to it. Lucky has shirt ideas. I have 2 shirts ideas. I'm gonna make a filthy casual typography shirt, and I don't know. I'm been super sold on it. I can't get it out of my head. I'm gonna make a high hugs shirt.
Hey, whatever works.
From TKO. Is it anyone here who remembers that shirt?
We got a few of them. Who were in the thing.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
I'm also to say that Perseus, that's not a problem. Because you don't want to beat up Amakusa first, because when he dies, he buffs everybody.
Yeah, so basically the tyranny emote, I'm gonna turn that into a full shirt. Because I think that's something that some people would like to wear. Maybe.
Spooky scary.
People like spooky scary on their chest.
It's like a skeleton. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. So let's move into skelegrams. I'll talk here for a bit, because why not? Omega's been sharing the good word. So
I don't know. I was gonna...
Okay, fine.
We talked a lot about the raids and stuff.
Right.
Well, yeah, so this was the big news we quote-unquote missed last week, but also didn't miss because it wasn't happening yet, so it happened. Anyway, JP's still not ready to do their Golden Week collab, but what they did do is 20 million downloads. Started the 29th of April and is going until the 6th of May. Kind of. Some of this stuff goes on a long time. So they're doing a weird wombo combo login. So you log in consecutively for 7 days to get 10 of various things, and you log in a total of, I think, 4 days in this time, so it doesn't matter when you do it, to get 200 MP, 1 each gold foe, and 1 rare prism. Going back to that thing where, like, occasionally JP gives you rare prisms. They've got special master missions, special campaign missions like they like to do. So you can complete them for up to 20 Saint Courts, 50 gold embers, a new command code, and the SSR exchange ticket. Now, before we talk about that, I will briefly mention, so the missions are real simple. They're just do dailies and then have story progression. The farthest you'll have to get is, I think you have to beat Chapter 1 of Lost Belt 5 Part 2, Olympus. Like, you have to be working on the current story. To get your SSR ticket, you just have to have completed, I think, Chapter 1 of Orleans, if not just Orleans. So, you have to be playing the game, but you don't have to be super far in to get that. Okay, here's the rules, because it's a little complex and there's been some confusion about it. The ticket that you exchange gives you a temporary SSR copy from the permanent pool. We'll probably do a list there. I'm reading, so Lucky can dig that up if he feels like.
SSR ticket list.
There's a few forms of it. But so, this gives you a temporary copy. To make them permanent, you must get them to Ascension 1 and Bond 5 before June 7th. So you have a long time to do it.
All right. I got the list if you want me to read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, our list of redeemable 5-star servants is Altera, Vanilla Artoria, Mordred, Arjuna, Orion, original, Napoleon, Enkidu, Karna, Bradamante, Achilles, Europa, Ozymandias, Drake, Anastasia, Sanzo, Scheherazade, Waver, Tamamo, Osakabe Hime, Jack, Vlad, Xiang Yu, Nightingale, John, and Ganesha.
Yeah, so the permanent pool minus Odysseus and Dioscuri because they are relatively new. And like some people were like, well, why can't Dioscuri be? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand the gacha fandom and Japan. There would be incredible butthurt if you could pick up the Dioscuri free after they had a banner.
Yeah.
Right. They're not even a month old. They just had a banner raid up. People spent money on that. There would be lawsuits, there would be violence in the streets, there would be hitmen. Like it would be chaos. So no, they did the smart thing in not doing it because Odysseus, that's a little like, okay, that was a while ago though. I mean, you speak, for instance, in NA, we're basically doing the JP thing where at Valentine's they had Semiramis and now Semiramis is on raid up again, right? Like that's a fair enough distance, but okay, whatever. I understand that too. They're all permanent anyway. But yes. So to continue with the restrictions, you can use it to get extra copies of a servant you already have, because assuming if you already own them, you've met the levels, so you can already get them if you really need that MP2. But you will not get a blank Saint Graph from this. You will not get a blank Saint Graph this way, okay? The SSR is not subject to Special Ascension. That's a thing they did last year, early this year, whatever, where you can... I think you banked it. They did it last year, but you can bank it. But you get one Special Ascension. You can take a servant to not max level, but to max ascension, to their minimum level needed to max ascend. But you can't do that with your temporary SSR. So the temporary SSR does get double EXP during the campaign. There was a display bug for this. The game wasn't actually visually registering your double EXPs, but they did count. And anybody who spent extra EXPs has gotten them back now. They fixed the bug, they fixed the display, and they've refunded you your EXPs. Once again, showing you how creepy it is that FGO knows literally everything about your game via the servers. That they can calculate how every player in a game that has 20 million downloads, every player who overspent their EXP, they can figure you out and refund you. It's weird. But yeah, in general, it's a little strict, but I understand why. I think the point is, especially because there is a Start Dash campaign going on right now with this, which we'll talk about in a second. But I think they're trying to do their maximum to prevent alt cloning and to prevent any kind of like shenanigans with the free SSR. The SSRs are a big deal. They're a major draw. And we did the math, right? There's only 25 you can pick from, and the game's been out almost 5 years, right? The permanent pool is only 27 units. So on the one hand, I understand why, like, okay, they're pretty limited. It can be hard to get your wanted servant, but also FGO is a game with a very low unit count, right?
Yeah.
There's still only like 250 servants, maybe total.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, I think they're setting up the SSR ticket to be so picky because they're trying to figure out a way to make it so that there's the least amount of things you can complain about and get shenanigans on, both as the devs and as the players. If you are a dedicated... I know, Lucky, you said you, like, looked at the must-be Ascension 1 Bond 5, and you were like, because you have a lot of level 1 SSRs.
Oh, man, I'm getting
But
my
if you
ass
went out of
kicked
your
by
way to pick a
George.
ticket, right, you'd be picking somebody you know you were going to use.
Yeah.
Rather than, fuck, I've gotten spooked by another Artoria. But yeah, I think they're trying to do that to, like... The point is that they want you to not just do it to fill out your collection, not do it to try and shenanigans Unregistered Spirit Origins. Pick a servant you want and are going to use. You know, take care of that servant, okay?
Tank Priest is kicking my ass. I'm just telling you guys that right now.
Mm.
No, he popped the fence and guts. Fuck. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this story real quick here. So I decided to go big brain, and I set up for basically double waiver fucking Tomacat, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna pop a command seal and just take them out immediately. Except George just popped all his defense buffs. Amakusa did two defense buffs. So this boy's just standing with like 90k left in a group full of casters. I'm just like, I have fucked up.
Yee.
So he has like 4 defense bumps. I'm literally hitting him from 0, and I'm just like, oh my god. Someone save me.
R.I.P. But yeah, so that's the CQ Lucky's working on. Alright, so that's that. So they've done a lot of special stuff with game stuff, which makes good because they're delayed with their event. So they've given you a little bit of a break week and stuff. So all EXP and Matt's dailies are available all at once for a limited time, just like what we had for the Apocrypha pre-campaign, so you can do all the Ember gathering and materials gathering, you know, all at once. So you can really get those EXPs you need for your new SSR. Part 1 and Part 2 story quests are temporarily 0 AP. That's right, you can progress the Part 1 and Part 2 story at no cost, other than your soul. That's amazing. That's freaky. Epic of Remnant continues to be left in the dust.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure those are still permanent half AP, but like it's funny that they don't get counted at all. Part 1 and Part 2 free quests are half AP first clear. So if you're working on getting those extra quartzes and whatever, you can get them first clear. So command code storage has increased from 200 to 250. I don't know if that's a big deal, but we all love free storage.
Mm-hmm.
There is a new Mana Prism shop, CE, free seating. It's adorable. It's got a character we haven't met yet, but we'll soon. So what it does is it increases your QP and Mystic Code EXP gains from a quest by 1%, 5% MLB. That's pretty baller.
It is pretty baller.
Because Mystic Codes it's percentage based, so that's great, because Mystic Codes are a pain in the ass to level. And also, every bit of QP counts, because now you could run Free Seeding and Mona Lisa and the other one, which I think is Bella Lisa, which is returned to the RP shop. So you can, if you missed your chance to buy all your copies of Bella Lisa, you can buy it in the RP shop. I mentioned it before, there is a Start Dash renewal and a returning master bonus, so if you are a new player, if you're one of those Japanese people, or an American person, or a Canadian, or whatever, wherever you come from, whatever your nationality or your creed, if you start FGOJP, there's a big Start Dash bonus. And also, if you haven't gone back to FGO in a while, there's a big returning master bonus. And then there's a Summon Banner, which features major SSR rotation, all the big ones. I think, a lot of our big limited units. So, Musashi's the headliner for the campaign, but you've also got her in there. But you've got Gil, you've got Kintoki, you've got Brunhilde, you've got Skahak, you've got Jolter, you've got Da Vinci, and you've got Ishtar. And also, I think it's the first New Year's CEs also are on Raid Up. They're returning. The one with, Artoria, Dawn, the Law of the Jungle, the True Shot one. All those are back. It's pretty cool. 20 million downloads, damn.
Yeah.
And they finally did it. They finally did the SSR ticket.
All right, let's see. Who am I gonna? Okay, I'm just putting an assassin in the back. So if this happens again, George ain't gonna know what fucking hit him.
But yeah.
All
right. So we've done a little bit of discussing on the list and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's hard to predict 2 years out, and presumably we won't get, unless they do it for a different campaign, we won't get the SSR ticket early. Like it's not like the Babylonian anime thing where that happened to be happening in 2 areas at once. Basically, this is the 20 million downloads. So.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of people might be going, just out of, a knee-jerk eyeballing. A lot of people will probably be going for the Moon Cancer, since this is a chance to get, honestly, a really rare, class.
Well, yes. If you're playing right now, maybe not. Because, if you've been playing for a while, you may have your free BB, and then you still got the rerun coming up to get your other to get BB again.
Well, I'm talking about in JP.
Yes, that's true. In JP, especially if you started right now, that would be a good pick.
Yeah.
The jokes are all about Waver. Are all about Waver not getting retirement, because he and Tamo are the only support casters on this pool, because they're the only permanent ones. So you can pick them. And Waver is honestly pretty open.
Yep.
There are some jokes about Consort Yu pestering you to summon Zhang Yu.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it seems kind of general. So for me personally, looking at this, obviously I can't predict 2 years in the future, but I'm pretty set for most of these. I have 2 of this. I have 2 of the 3 sabers. I have one. I don't have any permanent archers, but I don't need any of these scrub lords. I've got 2 of the 3 lancers. I've only got 1 of the riders, but they're all permanent, so maybe we'll see. I'd really like it for Odysseus, but we take him what we can get.
Jesus.
Casters is kind of interesting because I don't have Punch Caster that have Sanzang. And I don't have a Tamamo, even after all these years, and she's permanent. So I don't have the quintessential block of art support, which sometimes nettles me a little bit. I have Jack. I do want Osakabe Hime, but I don't know if I'd pick her. I don't have any of these Berserkers, but I do have Berserkers who work. I have Limiteds. I have Jean. So for me, it would probably be maybe Ganesha if I didn't pick her, and then otherwise it's got to be probably like Tamo or maybe Hime, depending on what happens, just to shore up my essentials.
Let's see. Lucky looking at this, I have all the sabers. I have all the archers that are out. Napoleon ain't out yet, so I have none of the lancers. But as I said, I'm about to throw down for Karna, and I said, I like Bradamante's design, but I need more than just the design to get me sold sometimes. Mm-hmm. Riders, I have Ozzy and Drake, and I said not too fussed about Achilles, but Europa is. I'm like, Grandma, pet my head. Casters, I have them all, but Anastasia.
Yeah, and I have technically too, Stacy, so I'm fine there.
Mm-hmm. I have both assassins. I have a Vlad and Nightingale. And again, I have to wait till they actually store it to actually see Zhang Yu in action before I'm like, do I want this guy? I don't know. And I have me an MP5 John. Jesus fucking Christ.
It's a lot of Jean.
It's a lot of Jean.
And to think, much like with Atalante, Jean was one of the servants if you go all the way back, because our entire history with this game is documented, Jean was one of the servants you yelled at me about forgetting, because she was my first SSR.
Yeah.
And my first Bond 10. Though, after this event was real good for Bond. I think my waiver's like 7 or 8. He's pretty far.
Yeah.
And that was the second GSSR that I got waiver.
All
By the way,
right,
also,
so-
that's another thing, in case you didn't know or forgot. I got waiver off a guaranteed SSR pull, so, like, that's how bad I am with casters. Other than, I guess, Stacy really liked me, that's it. That's all I got.
Let's see here.
But I did get Jack.
So I guess my picks initially will probably be, I'm hoping I get Karna. So it'll probably be Bradamante, Europa, Zhang Yu, or Ganesha, most like.
Yeah, I think Ganesha Jinako is the big pull, because even though she is permanent, that her banner is followed by a banner that has story locks and limited. So
Yeah.
that's the classic problem of, like, do I want to roll for the permanents now, or do I want to save that? Because I really like Asclepius. He's cool. But yeah, that's our pick thoughts, and that's that news. So I'll just really quickly cover it, because I already released a news desk on it that covered most of the meaty. But we're also doing Interlude Campaign 5. This was announced, and it started already last night. It goes from the 30th to the 7th. So it's basically our quote-unquote break week now that the raids are over.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's originally how it worked in Japan, but that's a really smart move on the part of NA to just give you something else to do, because you've probably done all the shit you need to with the raids, right?
Yep.
So all interludes are half AP. I know some interludes were half AP before, but now they're all of them. And we've got 6 new interludes. Drake, Ozymandias, and Suzuka get St. Courts. Bryn and Scheherazade get skill interludes, and Da Vinci gets an NP interlude, which I will be super interested in, because NP interludes are cool.
Lucky Cries and no Da Vinci.
Hey, just wait till 20 million downloads. She got another raid up.
Yeah. Excuse me. Just polished off my monster. Now time for the meaty sound. Yeah. Booyah, 2 points.
What's her action? What does it do? Okay, it basically does nothing but upper base damage, but that's still good. All right. Well, then we got to move into the free talk.
To the free talks. Now we're gonna get into our APOC story impressions.
Yeah.
So
I just wrote some notes, but if you want to use, go crazy.
Well, yeah, APOC sums it up great. Omega sums it up great. Sieg is a dork, and he's a good boy. He's a good evil dragon. I'm curious.
I like that this Sieg is like, I have no idea what I'm doing at any time. I'm like, that's right, you don't know. You're a wee baby.
That's like, but they keep calling me the custodian. I have to hold on to this thing, so I gotta do something. Please help me.
Help. And then in the end, he's like, I'm sorry, I can't give you anything. And it's like, dude, that's fine. I do this.
Yeah,
I do this shit all the time.
Yeah, but now we're friends, and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, master out.
Master bomb.
But again, like APOC doing those things, like if I can't really say like, because as I said, most of the characters in this collab are already, well, I won't say already in FGO, but we've gotten to know them pretty well, like Mordred, Fran, Spartacus.
Everybody except the new ones, we're obviously already in. That's why they have those giant rate ups, and we're already featured in things like Spartacus was in Septum. I know obviously a lot of people don't take that as a positive mark, but it happened. Atalante was in Okeanos, and Atalante Altar was in Anastasia. Mordred was in both London and Camelot, so we got to see both sides of her a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy Ramis was the star of the Valentine's event this year.
Mm-hmm.
Karna was in America and been in several other things.
Yep, I remember him best standing on an elephant in Summer 1.
I am at home. This is my home.
I need to find that Paco art. Hang on.
Paco continues to be an absolute mad lad. Oh, actually, I probably should have mentioned this in my news, but I didn't. I forgot. But Materials 8 is out, and artists are tweeting about it. What Arco tweeted about King Protea, showed King Protea's page. Redrop tweeted out one of Kama's pages.
Yeah.
So the artists have gotten their copies, and so hopefully some scans and translations will start trickling down. But But though, do be careful because this covers up to the end of Lost Belt 3 servants, so be careful reading translations and even looking at images. You might see spoiler characters. Just saying,
God.
warning you.
Excuse me, Paco, I did not know you drew Parvati, so I'm gonna just retweet that right fucking now. Fuck you. As I go through all his art. And you did a melt. That's gonna retweet it. Just look for an influx of fucking Paco art from Lucky if you follow his Twitter, okay? Oh, there it is. I found it. What? I didn't retweet this? How dare me? Yeah. So,
But yeah, you're talking about other characters who are in. Fran was also in London. I think you said that earlier.
Yep.
Who else is there? Shakes is in London, and he's a big deal. He's a lot of fun. It's almost too bad we couldn't Hans. VK Brun says it best at the end of this event because we just got done with him in Anastasia, so he's in there. Siegfried was in Orleans, obviously, which we actually had some back and forth about too in story.
Mm-hmm.
Is that everybody? Riders, sabers, archers, lancers. Vlad doesn't really show up, so it's really only Karna. Yeah, I think we've covered everybody.
Yeah, Jack. Jack was in too, but Jack's one of those interesting characters when they just throw her anytime they need childlike characters to be cute and shit.
Yeah, Jack has been around and around. Oh, that's right. Astolfo was also in Agartha. That's technically optional, but yeah, it's a good point. We got a lot of Astolfo in Agartha.
Yeah, but like I said, again, I'm always a fan of more. God damn it, he still did the double pop. I'm always in favor of more characterization of characters because honestly, seeing Mordred and Fran interact even more was amazing.
Well, yeah. So they're enemies in the original Apocrypha, concluding with Fran blowing herself up. In London, they're kind of friends, but Fran in there isn't a servant. She's the real Fran, basically, kind of, sort of. So she doesn't do anything other than stand in the background and go, I'm like, okay, you're cute, but you get there. Honestly, she probably has more characterization as a saber in Summer. But they hang out a lot because, I don't know, Mordred thinks they're similar, and they do lightning stuff.
But here, also, if there's something that I also appreciate here is, since even though if they're not they're just copies, they're still the exact same, and you as a master just know how to immediately handle all of them.
Right, we know them all.
Yeah. Like, you immediately adopt Jack, you know how to deal with Mordred and Fran. I think at some points you just understand what Fran is saying.
Yeah.
Same as Mordred does.
You know how to handle Spartacus.
You know how to handle Shakes. And well, Karna really doesn't need Karna and Siegfried. They're good on their own. They're good boys. It was like, we don't cause trouble. We're just gonna
we just like I said, you have a moment with Siegfried in the story where you're like, hey, I'm sorry about some shit in the past, bro. And he's like, nah, it's cool. I'm Siegfried. Everything's cool. I'm like, all right, cool.
I'm sorry.
I may have asked you to stab a dragon. I'm sorry.
But with all that, it's just like, honestly, like, now that I think about it, like, I can't remember what Lost Belt, because we made the joke, gravity is oppression, because Spartacus is all day, every day oppression jokes. Even in his greetings, like, good night, sweet oppression. It's like, good morning, tyranny, cockle-doodle-doo. And I'm just like, this guy is some shit, but I hope he gets, like, more characterizations, and made a joke about.
So his, I will not talk about what he does, but his animation update was originally scheduled for Lost Belt 3.
So it is, okay, he's in 3, that's right.
Yeah, that'll be later this year.
Well, as I said, we talk about gravity as oppression, so I totally went and found the scene of him just rocketing into the atmosphere.
in the CM, he has a big jump, so we'll see that later. Get ready for some extra Spartacus action.
Yeah, I'm excited, but like I'm hoping we actually get like some like good characterization, because like Spartacus so far has just been a one line pony of something oppression, something tyranny.
Right. We do a little in this one get into some of his psychology about we have to be very careful how we ask things. We can't tell him to do anything or he'll freak out.
Yeah.
We have to just be like, would it be okay if we left a rope? Not like, you must climb the rope, but like, hey, Spartacus, would it be okay if we gave you a rope? And he's like, yes, I shall climb. Climb to freedom. Like, okay, good. He's fine. Also,
all right.
I'm pretty sure Mordred is in Lost Belt 3. I think she's also in that CM.
I think so.
That'll be interesting to see if she and Spartacus hang out. Because I do think with this big of a cast herd, even because they were originally split into groups, they definitely like group up a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Fran and Mordred do stuff together. Chiron and Achilles are usually hanging out, though Chiron makes sure to advise everybody. There's a little bit of back and forth, just like there was in the original, between Atalante and Achilles. They do a lot of funny stuff with Atalante, actually, referencing the fact that she can switch between forms, and she... I think I put this in my notes. Atalante the Exhibitionist, where after you're done, Mordred calls her an exhibitionist, which is really funny because Mordred switches into her third ascension to ditch her heavy armor.
Mm-hmm. As they're gonna do a fucking, rocket jump with her and Fran and lightning power.
Yeah, so, Mordred is like, we'll just jump. You use your galvanism, and I'll use my mana burst, and we'll just rocket up there. And it works.
Don't you take out they take out Karna on the way up and explode and
Karna, you fall off into the gardens with Sieg, and Karna's about to get you, and just Mordred and Fran fucking rocket tackle him. And
it's so bad Fran actually speaks. Just oof.
You could just imagine her shaking Mordred. Why you do this? And then after Mordred gives you a fist bump and destroys your hand. I think Sieg turns to you and is like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I can't feel my hand right now."
Like I said, it's hard. Honestly, it's hard to hate Mordred.
No, they really channel Mordred's, and that was a lot of her character in the anime and the light novel story. But they channel a lot of Mordred's big dumb energy. Mm. She is just, despite being incredibly skinny, she is just a musclehead. Which is funny because, as I've discussed before, Mordred has C+ charisma that's not referenced in the game at all, and stuff like that. And when she's on the ball, Mordred is actually shockingly competent. Remember that when King Arthur went to France to fight Lancelot, Arthur left Mordred in charge. Not Gawain, not like Bedivere, Mordred. Which kind of bit everybody in the ass, but anyway. So,
whatever.
Mordred is not a complete idiot, but she's definitely a punch first, ask questions later kind of person.
Leads from the front.
What if I just hit them with my sword? I don't know if that'll work. What if I hit them really hard, though? And then you're like, I don't know if that's going to work. She's like, but I can hit them really hard, though.
Just remember, this is Mordred fights with cats. What is even her last name?
Actually, I don't know. So on paper, she's the child of Morgan Le Fay and King Lot, but I don't know if they have surnames. That's the thing about medieval. Surnames are kind of weird. I guess that would just be of Orkney, because that's the kingdom she's from. With all the other Orkney siblings, they're cool. Assemble the Orkney Rangers. Gawain, Agravain, Gaheris, Gareth, Mordred. Do a fucking Ginyu pose. Which, by the way, Mordred is obviously red. Gawain is blue. Agravain is black. Gareth would probably be, I don't know. Her armor's kind of silvery or white, but she could be yellow, I guess. Very sunny. And God knows what Gaheris is about. We know so little about him. We just know that fate does in fact say that he exists. Which was a question. Because they're the same character. Well, Gareth would be, in colorization, she would be yellow gold or green. It depends on the thing. Anyway, Gareth's adorable. Can't wait. Can't wait till 2 years from now or whatever. Or 1 year. No, it's 1 year.
Do I not have the Mordred fights a fucking cat gif? Damn it!
We have many gifs. But what I was saying earlier was that they definitely herd the cast into groups, so it's manageable. You get Jack sticks with you a lot.
As she should.
They kind of have a VK Braun and Shakespeare play off each other a lot, where Shakes is the funny man, and a VK Braun is usually your straight man, but occasionally he's just golems.
Leave the floor, please.
I'm like, no, don't fuck up the floor. We need that to live. And I can just imagine a VK Braun in the back just be like, oh, but the golems. And they do. I kind of like that they don't lean into pre-existing relationships too much. Sieg is very awkward with Astolfo.
Mm-hmm. To
the point where at the end, Astolfo is like, so we're not friends? And he's like, no, you're totally my friend. It's cool. He's like, okay, I guess you're just shy. And Sieg's like, I guess I am shy. Which is totally a very real conversation they have, right? It's very real.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they do a lot of herding, but that's good. Semiramis only really comes, and Karna only really come in at the very end, and Semi is mostly just a pain in the ass. I mean, I know she's an evil queen and all, but she's considering the situation you're in, she's still being a ball buster, and I'm just like, okay, come on. Calm down. And then at the end, she's all like, okay, I'm going to teleport you back. These are my gardens. Well, I'll just stay up here and explode. Everybody get lost. We're like, all right. Mordred gets one final insult before she goes away. That is the thing. Also, I some characters kind of feel like they mend their relationships. Others are totally like, nah, we still don't like each other.
Oh, thank you. Someone found it.
Mordred still has mommy issues. Who knew?
Mm-hmm.
Though now with her animation update, she has two different NP lines. So one is the old one. This is the evil sword, but the other one is based on her APOC character growth. Is I am not the king, but I walk the king's path.
I'm sad that this GIF doesn't have the cat combat rolling out.
Well, I have to end sometime.
I know. Well, then they probably did it so it could be a perfect loop.
Yes, it's very loop worthy. But yeah, so there's a lot of fun stuff. We already talked about Atalante. That is also, I think that might actually be a meta reference, because in the original version of Apocrypha, the pelt was like 2 NPs, so...
Really?
Yes, Atalante could just use the pelt to basically increase her straight line speed so she could quote-unquote fly, or jump really high.
Mm-hmm.
And then putting on the pelt and transforming was a separate, and then in the final light novel and anime product, they were like, nah, it's just one thing. But they do reference the fact that it's mentioned in her materials that all you have to do to go back to regular Atalante is just take the skin off.
Yeah. It's only a pelt.
Yeah, she literally switches back mid-story.
Oh, I have to go save it. Assets, duh.
Friend salutes at the end, which is adorable. Somebody please draw that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is another friend moment that was great, is fucking the evil dragon is planted in her flowers, just like, he's gotta get out of here.
And Siga's like, I can't move. And
I can't move him right
now. Friend's just like, and just rolls the dragon over.
Right, and she's like, can I move him? And like, okay, yeah. Just put him in the corner. She just fucking pushes a giant evil dragon out of the way.
And does she stop she stops a fight between Mordred and
Achilles. Yeah, Mordred and Achilles want to fight it out because they're both total jocks. And then Fran is like, don't fight out here. And then Achilles is like, that's a mood killer.
Well, I think she actually bonks them with the fucking
Yeah, she does like hit them or something.
Yeah. And it's like, don't wreck the flowers. And everyone's like, okay. Let's see here.
Well, so we should talk about since we were going full spoilers and stuff, we should talk about the plot, which was very interesting.
I am 100% kind of surprised that the rulers didn't show up. I was kind of expecting it to be a twist at the end. It was not.
No, that was not the twist.
No.
The whole point of this simulacrum war was to get rid of those pesky rulers.
Mm-hmm.
Who fucked things up, because it was I, Darnik! Yeah, Darnik was the villain the whole time. And I think I said this earlier, it might have been off mic, but I was like, no, this is actually this is an in-mechanical way to do this story, right?
Mm-hmm. Because
that totally happened, right? Darnik fused with Vlad, and thus he's mixed in there when Vlad's energy goes to the Greater Grail.
Yep.
And that is how you get fucked up Grails.
Okay, question. So I'm putting in Mordred, I'm putting in Fran, now I have to choose between Jean and Astolfo. Someone give me a decision here.
Like the Jean CE?
Yeah.
I like the CE. It's very good.
All right, we got. I'm hearing a lot of Jean here.
Did we not? How did we not already use the Astolfo CE?
Well, because as I said, we probably weren't using the fucking doing this style back when this happened.
Possible.
Because I used Sieg.
Well, yeah. Last year you did the lads, the boys,
and let's do the lasses, I guess.
No, we're talking about the CEs, Loth. We're not here to fuck with people. We're here to make thumbnails that people want to click.
So I'm just gonna keep this Astolfo close to my heart.
So the plot just was Darnik got in there, and he did all the things because he's trying to recreate the Grail War until it works, till he gets his wish.
Points for not giving up, I guess.
Yeah, and then at the end he goes crazy and he has the Greater Grail copy. They do a funny thing where he like doubles down and he's like, I'll create a fake Holy Grail War with the Greater Grail inside the Greater Grail, inside the Greater Grail. And people are just like, are you fucking nuts? You nuts, bro?
Like, this isn't how it works. He's like, if I say it does,
I'm gonna keep doing it until it works or I die. And then you punch him all out and he's kind of like, because he does the Last Temptation trick, right? Where he's like, yeah, everybody, what are you doing? And it's like, nah, they choose not to. Because they're all heroes, and they're like, no, dude, they do the classic move, don't do that, only villains do that. They're like, no, you have I think it makes perfect sense, especially for the themes of APOC. The mage completely misunderstands the servants who are heroic spirits, right?
That's a complete fate fateism, I guess
Yeah,
it is.
and Apocrypha especially was big in that, because a lot of especially because the Black faction was the only one we got characterization for the Masters in. The Masters in that were mostly asshole mages who didn't understand any better. It was only really the kids who were kind of okay. But he totally misunderstands them, and then at the end, Vlad shows up and stabs him.
It's like, haha, I am you, but I ain't mad anymore, even though you did that thing, because it won't last forever. It's like, get peace with it, fucker. We done.
Vlad does the mature thing and is like, no, dude, listen, I'm already dead, you're already dead, we're all dead, we gotta let go. We're dead. It's over. There's nothing we can do about it. Was I probably mad when it happened? Yeah, sure, but now it's not anymore.
I do find it funny, though, but Vlad did start off this conversation by stabbing the fuck out of him.
True.
And so, like, we could talk this out, but first I'm gonna stab you. Alright, now we talk. He was probably mad until he stabbed him. Like, alright, now we cool. Get a salt stab is in there. Where did I put that CE?
So Vesper did make a comment about they started watching and they were sad that they eliminated basically an entire master faction, because they do. The red masters are non-existent. I think they have backstories in the light novel, which the anime completely cuts out because they're worthless. But no, so my thing was like, listen, 14 characters is too many.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of true, but also, yes, it's very much a, like, it does feel kind of like a misplay, right? Because you don't see the masters at all, but there's 7 masters of each faction, there's 7 servants of each faction, and then Sieg is a major character, and John is a major character, and then there's some supporting characters. But it's 100% a fate bait and switch. That's the whole point. The whole point is that, well, in the anime they at least preface it, because I think Sieg's narration is like something like, this is not the grand battle between servants and masters, this is just a conflict of dreams, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it comes down into in the end. But it also very much is like, and here's the premise, we're going to do Great Holy Grail War. Oh, we're immediately going to fuck it up. That's kind of how Fate has always been, though. Fate's Stay Night is the
I'm
same
about to
way.
say, like, I don't know if it's Fate unless there's some sort of twist and or betrayal.
Like, I think the most straight is probably the original Fate scenario, the original just core Fate Stay Night. And even then, you still have Kyrie with his fucking extra guy who fucks it all up at the end. And then, Bladeworks is similar, where it's like, it's fucking Gil and...
Well, no, you can just say it's like, actually, I am you from the future.
Well, there's that. That has a lot of baggage, but the ultimate reason why the Holy Grail War bit gets fucked up is because the...
Well, honestly, if you want to say the whole reason the Holy Grail War is because Einsberg put a fucking...
Well, there's that, yeah. Anger on you. But, you should watch the second half, though, because that's where all the really, really tight animation is.
Oh, yeah. No. Like, I know some people still fucking fight me on this, but I still think Apocrypha should be a lot of people, if they, like, never watch anything in the Fate verse, it should be their first thing.
Yeah, just because it's pretty modern, and it avoids some of the question of... it avoids some of the roots problem that Fate has, right?
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying it's the best one. I'm just saying it's the most separated one that you can understand a lot of what's going on. Yes,
it's a very complete story that introduces all the concepts that matter to it, and also has really good fights, and like I said, you don't have to worry about, should you watch Unlimited Blade Works or Zero first?
Yeah.
Which, if you're watching the anime, you totally should watch Zero first, then UBW, but also, then you have to watch Fate Zero first, which is probably going to turn some people off, because it's very grim.
Or you can be or what I like to do sometimes is be the absolute dick and say, no, go watch today's menu first. All right, all those people, they're going to try and fucking kill each other. Have fun with that, fucker.
Well, and also now Heaven's Feel is the problem that the movies aren't done yet.
Yeah.
You cannot watch Heaven's Feel as a complete story yet, which is a shame. So like, and you can watch the original Dean Fate Stay Night. It's a little wonky to watch, but it still hits the beats.
Mm-hmm.
That might not be very impressive though, because the core Fate story is a little bland. Like, Fate is the most straightforward route. Unlimited Blade Works has a lot of the fucky because it keeps the Archer stuff, and then, you got fucking lizzed hard. I got lizzed hard right just now. But Unlimited Blade Works has the fucking time shenanigans and shit. Well, yeah, that's because Fate is the idealist Shiro route, which is when he's his most blockheaded.
Yeah.
Like, Unlimited Blade Works is Archer just constantly kicks Shiro in the shins and is like, you suck, your world is wrong, you will only hurt yourself and others. And then at the end, Shiro is like, Yeah, but fuck you though.
Well, I said, like, honestly, it's like, I don't know. Fuck it, I'm not done with Heaven's Field, like, you know, but I said it would be really my favorite because route values, you are wrong. I'm upset.
No, man, Lucky's going on the whole thing.
Listen, I'm currently upset that these images for these threads, so they're gonna look blurry as fuck.
Okay, no, I was just saying you're going a whole thing because you were breaking up a lot in there, but you were not stopping.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
So it was like, and another, and that, with the, like, okay, I'll just write it out. So the audience probably did, I don't know how the other people listening live got it, but the audience of the recorded version did not get a lot of your comments about Unlimited Blade Works. If you want to repeat them.
It's not important to the grand scheme of the show. It's just fapping.
But yeah, so I also have always preferred Unlimited Blade Works for similar reasons. We've talked about this before. You can always go back to the very first episode where we talk about it. Just because it does have that moment where Shiro becomes almost more self-actualized in Unlimited Blade Works than in Fate. Because he does have a lot of self-actualization in the original Fate route, but...
Well, you need fucking... what's the word I'm trying to think of? You need strife, you need conflict against, like, your ideals, which the Fate route doesn't necessarily have. You have Ren telling him he's a fucking idiot a lot. But...
Yeah, the Fate route is... The main conflict is... the main conflict is Shiro has to live up to his quote-unquote dad's ideals, basically, right?
Yeah.
Like he has to get Saber out of her shell, and they have to, like, build trust, and then ultimately, like, you know, kind of unfuck the whole thing, and both of them have to hit their resolutions, so Saber has to, like, kind of get out of her shell and grow up and be able to beat Gilgamesh, who she could not finish off Gil in the last one, and then Shiro has to kind of get his shit together and beat Kirie, who is kind of the symbol of all the other shit going on, and then and in the actual anime, they resolve that, like, the way it's animated is they resolve it simultaneously. Artoria activates Avalon at the same time Shiro traces Avalon, and then they're like, yeah, cool, Avalon high five.
Clunk.
Whereas Unlimited Blade Works is much more like, there's a lot more challenging. Everybody gets the resolution they need, but not what they want, right?
Well, that's life.
Whereas, like even Artoria, like, I think Rin says to Artoria, where it's like, I don't think that's the thing or was it, no, Shiro said it, right? Where he's like, I don't think this is the thing you're looking for. And she's just like, nope. And she blows it up again. And it's really cool in the anime.
Man, I'm excited for the third movie. I really am.
But yeah, enough about Fate Roots and Apocrypha. Apocrypha is goo. You should try and watch the second half. One, because, like, if people are actually like, I'm not sure, because, yeah, Sieg's a slow roll, but the second half is where he kind of, like, is like, oh, shit, I have motivations and feelings. Fuck. But also,
now that I think about that, it's like most Fate stories like that. The first half is usually kind of slow, and there's a lot of build-up, then all of a sudden everything kicks up into overdrive.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that moment you said that. I'm like, no, you're right. The Unlimited Blade Works anime is like, there's a lot of slow build to, like, Shiro and Rin working together and building their relationship, and then, you know, fighting against everybody, and then about halfway through it's got the turn. I think it is literally like episode 14 or 15 where Archer is like, yeah, no, fuck you, buddy. I'm gonna switch teams.
Archer bomb.
And then it becomes a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I have the thumbnail. And then I'm not sure where the turn is, but Fate is similar because it builds up. I think the Fate conflict builds up to, like, oh shit, Shinji's a fuckboy. Now we must defeat Rider, and then we gotta defeat Berserker, and it like goes down the line.
I don't know where the switch is in Zero necessarily is.
I don't think Zero has a switch per se. Zero is just a long, slow tumble into darkness.
Yeah. You're just constantly tumbling down a cliff.
Zero is just like, do, gonna have Grail War. Oh shit, I've tripped headfirst into war crimes or whatever.
Thanks, Urobuchi.
But I think, honestly, that was the point of Zero. The point of Zero is that it is almost just a subversion of Fate-type shit with, like, the normal. Like, it's got all the, like, oh, you think Saber is cool and she wins and stuff. No, the story just constantly dicks over Saber. Gil, this is, I think, one of the few times Gil doesn't job when he's still an antagonist, right? Like, Gil arguably wins. Iskandar and Waver have this really cool relationship that ends with Iskandar completely flopping out to Gil. So it's a great relationship building, and other authors really turn that into a big defining moment for Waver, who is a great character, but like that turns into a tragedy, arguably. Yeah. Assassin is fucking killed for fun, like almost as a joke, and to set up why Kyrie can take Gil later. Mm-hmm. Lancelot's master is Lancelot just exists to give Artoria a heart attack, and then Lancelot is literally too strong, and his master just dies in a ditch somewhere after fucking some shit up for Rin. Thanks, buddy. But yeah, it's full of not quite the meme of subverting your expectations, but it's full of just like, oh, you have thoughts and feelings about this universe. So does mine. So we're just gonna nah. I think she is dead before Fate Stay Night, but she was hospitalized for a while. Because she is not the same after the incident where what's his face mostly tries to crush her skull. Anyway,
actually, I'm not gonna lie. If Zoken wasn't around, the Mato family probably would have dissolved into fucking nothing. Probably.
Well, yes, they would definitely not be there at all.
Yeah.
But and Shinji's dead Shinji's dead is literally just Shinji, only older. Mm-hmm. As evidenced when Kiritsugu is like, yo dog, I'm in your house fucking your shit up, and he's like, I don't know, dude. And then Zoken shows up to like mock Rin's dad for a little bit, and he's just like, whatever, dude, bye. Fuck you, I'm immortal. Bugs, dude. What if they were bugs? And I'm just imagining in his mind, Rin's dad is just like, this is the guy who founded this thing with my ancestor. What the fuck? Fucking bugs, dude. Shut up, Zoken. But yeah, it's because that's just his sorcery style. It's gross, Axe. They're bad.
Actually, I was actually reading into it. It's like their power is based on absorption a lot.
Yes.
So
yeah, that's the funny thing. The Tosakas are somehow, they're a very mage family. They're somehow the least shit. They're like
a little shit.
They have their magecraft form is pretty not skeevy. Like the Einsburns make artificial human soldiers basically. Mm-hmm. And we already know the Mato / Makiri, they're gross. Mm. So the Tosaka just use gem magecraft and alchemy. In fact, rich, it's Paracelsus is the founder of their style of magecraft, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I did some research on
Hohenheim.
So he is actually considered the father of Rin's branch of magecraft. Because she's the same type of mage that he is, an average one. So she can use all 5 elements and has gem magecraft. I don't think that the Tosakas really get super deep in the alchemy aspect, so not like Philosopher's Stones and Homunculi and shit, but that's the same style of casting. So they're pretty normal.
The character develops. Now that I think about it. No, he was in London for a bit. He shows up once in a while. He's like, I made something mysterious. But that's about it. Yeah, but probably one of his interludes.
And then there's, and you think about Zero also. Zero is also that thing where it's like, and look, they're Mage Association guys. They fucking suck. Oh wow, I'm completely blanking on his name. What's his face? Kaneth. El Meloy. He's a huge dickbag, but also by the time he dies, you feel bad for him just because he's like, wow, the story only exists to shit on you, buddy.
You literally got cucked.
Well, not literally, because I'm pretty sure Soloe did not actually bone Diarmid, because Diarmid would not want that. But
no,
because of his magic curse, she really wants to. It's just shenanigansy. I'm like, you can't figure some shit out? Nah, okay. But yeah, so and also, despite the fact that people lionize guilds, Zero does have one of the most awful people combos, and somehow you don't hate them. The literal serial child murderers. And then you're like, but somehow I don't like you the least in this story. What the fuck? What the fuck, again?
Because they have the most wholesome relationship.
It's so weird, right? Like, they're awful people, but somehow they're just completely functional. They're functional. They're just minding their own business.
I was like, we're just here to have fun and murder everybody, especially children. I'm just like, okay, I was on board with you for like the first half of that sentence.
Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, poor 100 personas. They literally immediately job. But yeah, all right. We've talked about enough about why Zero can be an awkward starting point, because it kind of is at odds with a lot of the. I think it was just which now he succeeded sometimes a lot. He's actually been growing as an author. Some of his later works are actually really interesting in that regard. But a lot of early Urobuchi stuff is he reflexively grimdarks shit up, and I think that's just what Zero is it's like
suffering.
So obviously to set up Fate Stay Night, some bad shit has to happen in the Fourth War, right? Like
yes.
Kiritsugu has to get separated from his wife and daughter, you know.
The city has to go up in flames somehow.
Yes. Only like Shiro has to be a sole survivor and have all that weird survivor's guilt shit. Saber has to have some really bad relationship with Kiritsugu and relationship with the war, which is why she's in super depressed robot mode at the start of Fate Stay Night, right? Mm-hmm. Rin's dad has to die by Kotomine's hand. Kotomine has to completely go, yeah, fuckboy. Gil has to survive.
We have to give away Sakura.
Right, Sakura preemptively has to be gone. But also the Matos can't do good in the war either, because then they wouldn't be, like, Zoken wouldn't be trying so hard in the follow-up 10 years later. Sorry. Mm-hmm. And then the extra master roles just have to not matter.
Yeah.
Which is arguably why some of those characters are the best, right? Like, Waver is written because he has to just... Like, Waver grows as a character, but the point is that he has to fuck off at the end, right? Yep. Like, he has to go home and go back to his life. He doesn't die, so that's a good point, but otherwise it's like, yeah, you have to be written out of the story, basically. Because these people don't come back. So, I think some of it is just because of the way Urobuchi handles things, but also there is an approach that there has to be a certain amount of darkness in the setup. Mm-hmm. It is almost like Zero is the Empire Strikes Back, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's technically the middle point before the big conclusion, which is actually Fate Stay Night, but we actually got Fate Stay Night at the front. It's weird. Prequels are weird.
Yeah, they are.
I guess that technically means that Zero is the Revenge of the Sith, but whatever. Analogies. Some people did say, and I have seen it, I wouldn't mind seeing if they would actually do a story that explains the Third Grail War, like, whether it's the APOC one, or whether it's the real one, or whatever, but just, like, I'd love to see, like Amakusa or Angra in a war, you know, see Darnik with Fion or whatever, like, get in there.
That's the real end baited.
Oh, like he's breaking up again.
Like, not talking about, like, Fate Zero, but, like, if we start at Fate 9, there's a lot of things that had to happen to just now getting into the story. So,
it's literally the fifth in Fate Stay, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't think the Fuyuki Grail War would actually be interesting, because I believe it's canonically just Solomon's team roles.
Yeah.
They probably could shenanigans it, but he is Grand Caster, so he should probably bullshit most of that. Yes, Loth, you're a little slow to the party. We've been there for a while.
Mm-hmm. We were making faces about that a while ago. It's like, I say faces, but we say we're just like, I see, yes. But, turning this back onto APOC, yes, I know there's a lot of people who don't necessarily like it.
And if you, I will say this, also, if you don't like Sieg or stuff like that, maybe try the light novel. Because the anime does what most animes do, and it cuts out internal monologue for pacing and stuff. Which does hurt some of... Because my understanding is that... And I can actually follow subtle story cues, and, like... I've watched enough Fate to kind of know where they're going with Fate archetypes, so I know that Sieg is an introspective character, but in the light novel, they actually show what his introspective commentary is the thing, which adds an extra dimension. Like,
honestly, like, I love the fucking Case Files anime. They're so, like, what the fuck is going on, people?
Yeah, the Case Files anime is really fucking weird, because it's half original content, which to set up all the characters, because they don't cover the early story arcs, to do one of the middle story arcs, and not even finish it at the end. Because Heartless and Faker get away, so you're like, what? Why? Are you banking on El Meloy Case Files Season 2? I wouldn't mind it, but it's weird. It's real weird.
We've already established characters, and they're great, but I don't get them. Alright, we're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah, unlike as I said, like Babylonia had some weird moments with the adaptation and being the last singularity, but they did a pretty decent job. They sprinkled in flashbacks and comments on earlier stories, and like they built all the characters in them and explained everything, and that had, you know, pretty decent pacing to the conclusion that did the whole story, right?
Well, again, like, we've had this conversation, and it's like, basically every singularity is contained and contribute very little to the overall story, most of which is at the end of fucking London.
Yes, London is a big deal story-wise. Camelot's more character-based. It's a big deal chapter, but it's much more about Mash's growth and kind of coming into her own and stuff. Also about the Master, too, because you know, get a lot of spine stuff in there. But Babylonia really matters for the story. America kind of matters because it has some Merlin cameos and some commentary about Demon Pillars, but it's mostly, you know, most of them are not a big deal, other than that, like, Okeanos establishes that the big bad's are really a big deal spellcaster. And then you go to London and it's like, hello, I am Solomon. I am going to eat your face. And you're like, no, don't eat my face. I need that to live. And
Lightning.
He's like, it doesn't, I guess it doesn't matter whether you win or lose here. It's only if you can beat all 7 of me that it matters. And even then, I still get to punch you in the face. Blah. And then he fucks off. Getia is weird. He's a weird guy.
I'm still super excited for whatever they're doing for Time Temple Solomon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be glad to see that. But yeah, that'll also probably be one where like we're actually like, oh, it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people aren't gonna like that I say this, but technically, Septum matters because it's got Lev in it. But as we all know, they kind of dropped that ball.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm just glad that Romulus got his.
Yeah, Romulus got his fair shake. We've already talked about how they're gonna bring Spartacus back. Jinke should get her update in there, which makes sense. It's China.
Okay, so clearly we need some Boudica love. Clearly.
Yeah, Boudica hasn't gotten a mention. Britain would be a good place for that.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good place to summon Boudica. What else? What else do we got? Who else is in? I don't think Alexander's really gotten a queue, but that's okay because we also did Iskander.
Waver is...
Waver was a big deal in the Zero collab.
Yeah.
Which also the Zero collab is really good. Remember how we talked about all that stuff? How Zero shits on everybody. The Zero collab is Nasu bullies Urobuchi into writing a happy ending. Urobuchi's like, what if everybody just died? Nasu's like, no, let the people have hope. Okay.
Nasu just standing over Urobuchi with a Hari Sin, just all like, okay, so this character's gonna slap. No.
Just a guy exposing mushroom, giving inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
But so no, Waver got a major focus in there. So I don't think they need to reintroduce Zhulang.
Yeah, so I think Boudica just needs. I don't know. I would not mind an SR and SSR.
They could have. Well, no, we got Bride. That's right. That's basically a good showing of Nero as Bride.
Yeah, and in America.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking with my thoughts. Actually, hold on. I can just pull that up. Darius got chain summoned in Septum though. Darius 3. He's a guy who exists.
Well, he's weird because he's in the same camp as Lu Bu and Hercules. As they don't talk, they just scream. So it's
they
kind
can
of
make attempts though.
They have characterizations. I know there is like something that Lu Bu can actually talk. You have to have the Lu Bu translation guide. That is a thing.
Well, yeah. The way that it seems like Extra and other things have done Lu Bu characterization is either Lu Bu needs to talk to somebody. Like I think his side story in Extella is he talks to Phantom Chengong. He has a Chengong in his mind who he talks to, but that's it. Is you have to show his inner monologue basically, or give him somebody who understands him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they do that in like I don't know. Actually, I don't know if he's in like Lost Belt 3, for instance. It would make sense, but also it could not because he's paid to the dick. Okay, so let me see Septum main quests. Let me check the story support characters. There's Nero. We already talked about that. There's a lot of Nero. Holy shit, there's a lot of quests with Nero. There's Jinke. There's Boudica.
Can I get a Boudica this summer? I'd appreciate that.
I wouldn't mind a summer Boudica. I joked about this. Do summer Avenger Boudica and make her NP a giant Ferris wheel. And she just crushes people with it. Yeah, it's a lot of Jinke and a lot... Yeah, okay, it's literally only... Wow. You don't even get to fight with Spartacus, even though I know he's in the story. Wow. Man, Septum is bad. Literally, your only 3 story supports are Nero, Jinke, and Boudica. Oof. Liz is in Septum, but it's a cameo. We get the most of Liz in Orleans, where she tussles with Carmilla, and then again in America. Yeah, she shows back up because Nero does.
He just came with you regardless? Oh, it was Halloween, that's right. Oh god, that's scary.
Yeah, Kiyohime just follows you home from Orleans.
Yeah.
It's like, she does the fucking Kyo's does the fucking tuxedo mask meme where she's like, I've done all I can, I must go now. You didn't do anything. Whatever. Just whoosh, Kyo vanish. Because I think Kiyohime only exists in Orleans to love you and to yell at Liz. That's okay, she has a character in Shimosa.
Mm-hmm.
And in other stuff, and she shows up in Summer. We'll have to see what Summer 4? Yeah, 4. What Summer 4 does for Carmilla. Otherwise, I might be like, but what if Carmilla come back?
Listen,
I think
honestly,
throughout the various Halloweens and Nero Fez and Gil Fez and whatever, like, Caesar's gotten a lot of stuff. Like, because of his relationship with Cleo, he's gotten a lot of stuff in there. We've done Romulus a goo. And I think by extension we did Caligula a goo in there somewhere. I think that's most of the Septim cast. It's really just, we need to do Boudica a solid, and we need to do Darius 3 a solid, maybe.
Yeah.
If we can.
Yeah, give me SR Avenger Boudica. I'd appreciate that.
It can work. Yeah, we could do Darius's alt costume and Rider from the OVA. Which is really... I've been thinking about that, because that might be related to I'm finishing up my Fate homebrew and I want to playtest it with people. So I'm working on my scenario. But I've been looking into some of the alternates who appeared in the First Order OVA, and that's really interesting because, like, they had frickin' Takeuchi do new designs for characters, right? Like, he drew the alternate version of Medusa who's in the OVA and stuff. Mm-hmm. And, like, they do different things and have interesting animation, and that's it. Like, they don't have their own mats profiles or anything, no descriptions of them, they just have some character sketches. They aren't fully fleshed out, and I'm like, it's really weird, because you guys put a lot of effort into basically OVA-only characters and done nothing with, other than, I guess, kind of, Anna is like Medusa Lancer, but also not. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because that is very much an altered Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hey, if you want to do 4-star Medusa alter, I know Gorgon already exists, but I'll do that. That's fine.
Maybe an alter ego that's Medusa?
Could do that. Or just, hey, Takeuchi, you coward. Give me Summer Medusa. Gib. Everybody post Mashugun in the chat. I think, quote-unquote, speaking of quote-unquote Emiya faces, I think story-wise we might be building for them to be able to release Muramasa, but probably not until, like, New Year's this year or something dumb like that. Like, I think they're working on that might actually happen, but not soon, because he wasn't White Day. Who the fuck knows? They could surprise us all with Anniversary, but we'll see what they do.
I don't know. I'm leaning towards Tomovich for Anniversary. Usually, like, it's not every year, but usually it's a lady. And
yeah, they've mostly been ladies. There was Sherlock that one year, but we've got him out of the way. So unless there's like I don't know, they could Rasputin. They could Muramasa. Because obviously we can talk about Rasputin because that's out now.
Mm-hmm. That
Rasputin is a Kyrie pseudo, and that would be hilarious. Which, by the way, was called as early as Iris Veal's Mats, because she's mad at Rasputin. That was the only hint we got, and then it happened. It's crazy. It's crazy the setup they do. That's why a lot of people are vibrating about potential Summer Kiara, because I think it's Summer BB has that note about a Japanese mermaid myth. The woman who eats mermaid flesh and becomes immortal or whatever. And everybody's like, why would BB care about a mermaid? Oh, shit. Who could BB possibly be involved with? Anyway, there's a lot of fun hints in there. Wonder if, actually, I should make sure to double check all the new mats when they translate. That'll probably be interesting. Anyway, we faffed a lot. Hey, Vesper, remember how when you were here and you joked about 10 pages of show notes and I said, ha, joke's on you, there's only 2, which means we're gonna go for 2 hours.
What's the mission clock at?
We're by the time I'm done saying this, we're gonna pass an hour 40.
Alright. Well, as I said, we got on this because I basically wanted to say that APOC is okay to watch first, you fucking dorks.
Yes, APOC is fine, and if you only got halfway through, you really should try and watch that back half, just because, like I said, that's where a lot of the real good animation shit happens.
Yeah. But, I'm trying to think of other things about the APOC collab.
I mean, the collab is good. The story's a little sparse. The meat is the raids, which kind of sucked. Like, I love how generous the raids were, but it was so soul-sucking. Like, we're going to talk about it in WhatsApp about getting stuff done. I got a lot less shit done in my week just because there were those first few days on a weekend where, like, oh shit, we got to record the show. Oh shit, I got to raid. Like, Because I didn't want to be in the last day of raids a couple days ago and be, like, on full-blown blast. But also, like, it's... Yeah. I appreciate the generosity of the mats and stuff, but also it was crazy.
The raid mentality for, like, the first few days was in-fucking-sane.
Yes.
So, like, especially for people, like, I would especially say, like...
I wonder if I should call this 20 million raids. That's what it feels like.
It does. Because, like, I will never put on the front. I am a whale. Well, I'm pretty close to a goddamn whale. And I am very fortunate with my setup, so I could one-turn just about anything. I know not everyone's in that situation, so there are probably people there who had to come up with some bullshit setups that still didn't take one turn.
I wanted to do this all bonus servants, and I'm going to do that for free quests. I could not with the raids. Like, I had to suck it up and be like, okay, until I get this, even with the bonus damage, until I get this damage CE shit sorted out, I need to go full-blown bullshit. And I am not a whale. I've only in FGO, I've probably spent like, but with all the GSSRs at this point, I've probably spent over $100, but less than 200 probably. Like,
yeah, like as I said, I just pushed my berserker button for fucking everything, and it worked for me. But I know everyone can't do that, so there's people who probably took several turns. I'm
very lucky in that I do have some meta servants, and but because I don't have a huge wealth of SSRs, I tend to level them. So I have Merlin, I have a Waver. That means I can do dumb shit like double Waver, double Merlin. I have Jolter. I didn't roll her because she's meta, but because I like John Alter, I'm a Scrub-Lord like that. Dragon Witch, whatever. Oh, make it very easy to please. Is it a dragon? Yes.
Yes.
I'm there. That's one of our oldest memes, the Dragon Mom effect. Are you more mom and are you more dragon? That's the more we want you.
Mm-hmm.
And that does mean that you can arrange that math so that there's no dragon or no mom, and it's full the other way, and it still works.
Yes.
It's just that if you get them both together, that's peak.
Mm-hmm.
Alter Ego Tiamat when. You literally have everything you need.
Well, actually,
Lucky, let me ask you this. What would you prefer out of all the options? Would you be okay with like Alter Ego Tiamat Anniversary Servant, like a big deal? Do you know she's going to rotate in there every year probably at some point? Go crazy Tiamat first permanent Alter Ego, or probably making the most sense Tiamat first, well, not first because Cena is story lock, but retroactively story lock Tiamat to Babylonia.
Probably a retroactive story lock. Like business sense wise, that's probably what you want to do, because it basically puts her in the pool always. But that means you can spice up fucking banners and make people want to spend their fucking wallet. Because here's the crazy thing: limited banners just fucking suck. Just right. Straight out one.
They're just, oh shit, they're limited. You have to go in or not.
Yeah, but when you make it like, because honestly, as much as I hate story locks, they are like marketing wise, they're fucking genius. Because there's always means there's the fucking chance. Like, if you're feeling, particularly spending or stuff, you can go in there and start rolling. The chance is always there. But you can't do it on the regular one, where you won't get on the regular one, where you can get it on maybe any banner. Mm-hmm. It's the value of scarcity. But it's not so scarce that you won't maybe consider, because people have been rolling on story here and there. I see it. Like,
yeah, it was, well, yeah, we just had it. So, that was last night when we were fucking around. Resident Mad Lad and Mod, Zero Ranma, spent at least one of their monthly tickets on story and got, Coup Alter.
Yeah.
Which is, we've talked about this, statistically, not advisable, but it happens.
It happens.
And he's had a lot of good luck. But here's the thing,
you put things that people want in there, people will roll.
Yeah, people will try.
People will try. Because I can, like, I don't know, like, the majority of people who want a Tiamat servant like I do. Or, like...
I mean, I don't know. Especially after the Babylonian anime, I think a lot of people would be pro. And the beautiful thing is, as we've said, much like how outside of Extella Link, like, Charlemagne has a perfect setup. Like, he has all the skills he needs, and he has an MP and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He could be Arts AoE to complement the Dioscuri's Arts ST.
There's a 0.
But, other than... Hey, buddy. Oh, he's not listening.
No, he probably just saw Vesper talking shit.
But, like, Tiamat has, like, 3 or 4 skills, and would have various, much like Kiara does, would have various passives and stuff that make her special. And then...
Well, I think a lot of the people who are on board for Tiamat servants, even though she's a beast, is because we have Kiara and Kama.
Yes. We have alternate versions of most of our special villain characters we have alternate versions of, other than like eventually they made Jolter summonable.
Mm-hmm.
The only other one is we don't have Solomon or Gaetia in some form, but we'll probably get there. Let's be real, we'll probably get back there somehow.
Like I said, they've already confirmed Tomovich and alter ego lost belt fucker name. I lose it. Ashidoman. They're in the fucking spotlight.
So we know that they're going to be summonable at some point.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but what if Vitch was alter ego? I'm like, but her trailer's assassin. It'll be like Kama. Because Kama's a beast, but also as a summonable, she's an assassin.
Yeah.
And we've given that up, unfortunately, that she's Kamamara. It happened.
Mm-hmm. But so people know that they can do it and want it, but people are much more on Muramasa because they want that Shiro face.
Right, because Shiro is, other than, honestly, even Emiya is grossly underrepresented in story.
Yeah.
Because the thing is about Emiya Alter is, that's an interesting, as a character, he's an interesting commentary because he is a literal one of Shiro's bad ends. Like, he is almost literally like Heart of Steel Shiro. Like, because there are a lot of story endings in Fate Stay Night, and in some of them, Shiro goes full-blown, what if I just kill people for justice? Kill everyone. That's Emiya Alter, is that mindset. It doesn't matter how many innocents I have to shoot, so long as I shoot one crazy lady. But even then, he's very sparsely characterized.
I mean, we got a little bit of him in Shinjuku.
In Shinjuku, you get to see him a little bit, and you see kind of his calculating mercenary attitude. And even then, he's like, ultimately, he is a quote-unquote good guy. Like, he's not a good person, but ultimately he is...
He's Merkin, literally.
Yes, he is still kind of sort of a counter-guardian, so he is still technically on the side of human order. And he's okay in CCC, but his big thing there is that Kiara gets him to flip, and even then, he still has... That is a lot of characterization for him and why he flips, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even then, so there's almost no Emiya characterization, because he shows up as a shadow in Fuyuki and Jobs, and then it's just interludes and events. They do use him a decent amount for events, but we don't get to do any serious exploration of his character. So, Shiro in any form would be good. It's kind of like how, like, I'm not super eager for a Shinji face, but I could see why some people would be, because there are multiple Shinjis, and, like, we could actually, like, work on that character. I feel like Jason right now is kind of that.
Yeah, but a lot of people allude Jason to Shinji, and I hear like there even might have been some sort of design elements that incorporated.
Yeah, I
Shinji
think they're
features.
Similar, right? Like they have similar looks. But we have confirmed that Vitch will be summonable at some point, probably because she's in a fucking trailer. Same with Doman, so we'll get him back in some form.
So we get most of our story villains, I guess I should say.
Yes, and event villains not always, but mostly.
I mean, I'm still waiting on Justice. Please give.
Yeah, we could use another Avenger. We could use some more Avengers.
Testament, why not?
Rail. Well, Testament is a skin now, at least, right?
Oh, is she?
I think so. Didn't they do that? I thought they did that. That can you get Testament as a skin in the rerun? I think so. I think that's what they did.
All right,
that's
what
they did for the rerun. Is that Ilya got a Testament skin?
Let me pull it up here. Oh,
yeah. Like, I'm getting confirmations in the chat.
Okay, booyah.
And they also added Miyu to the rerun, so you can assemble the team.
Lolly's Unite.
R.I.P. Limited 4 stars.
I'm gonna throw down.
But yeah, so it's really just Solomon Gaetia, which obviously makes sense why not right away. They're accessible, but we're pretty sure that one's gonna come back in some form. There's this weird guy from Chaldea wandering around. I wonder if that's a guy doing a thing. Who knows? It's somebody. It's something, for sure. It's a thing. We don't want to talk about what thing it is. I see people typing, but it's a thing. It happened.
I'll end you.
Oh yeah, actually that could be it. They could do that. They could do that. The OVA. I don't know if the timing will be right for that, though.
I don't know, especially with quarantine stuff going on. I don't know how production's going on with shit, so who knows?
We also don't know that. That's true. But so yeah, there's a lot of interesting things. So I'd love to see Tiamat return in some form, because they really, honestly, I think part of it's because Kiara was not an original character, right? They kind of shenanigans her into a role that makes sense in FGO, though. I mean, that is kind of the direction her. I believe Gilgamesh refers to both BB and Kiara as evils of humanity or mankind or whatever at some point in the actual original CCC script, but it's really hard to double check that because it's only in Japanese and it's a big fucking script.
That reminds me, I actually saw the CCC opening for the first time not too long ago, and it was pretty fucking baller. Holy shit. It's crazy.
But yeah, so because we got, like, Kiara as an alter ego, that's like, you should do something. And even then, you know, Tiamat has that, especially in the anime, Tiamat has that moment, right?
Mm.
Where you could see it coming back around. You know, she's got all the self-restraint and stuff.
Yeah, but Tiamat is also big scary. Like, you look at her Matt's profile, and she's all like, what is the match? It's like one of several billion. And it's like, an object for destruction.
You are my baby, but also there are many of you.
Because so Kiara has this whole thing about, Mig wanting to...
Well, yeah, alter ego Kiara really kind of forms out of the wish that Big Giant Beast Kiara has at the end of CCC. Where she's like, what if I could do it different, though? As Melt is light speed kicking her into the planet's core.
Yeah.
To explode.
Yeah, like as I said, Kiara is still a, what's the word I want to use here? Thought? But she gets off on the fact that you are resisting.
She is an extreme sadomasochist, so basically she gets off whether she gets off or not.
Yeah.
Like, she gets off on having restraint and not being sexually fulfilled.
Yeah.
So she's, as an alter ego, she's basically playing a game, which is, let's see if you break. If you don't break, I'll help you. If you do break, I win anyway, so, haha, win-win.
Yeah. And, like I said, I don't know what Kama's deal is, so I
think because Kama comes out first, I think Summonable Kama is just Heroic Spirit Record rather than the specific story one, but we'll see. Yeah. We'll have to see.
Yeah. That's next year, right?
Yes, that'll be next year, after the CCC rerun. Oh. Yeah, that's why you're gonna die, buddy, because it's gonna be the KP banner and then the Kama banner. It's a rough next year. Murasaki, KP, Kama.
Oh no, and there's Burb.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's right. It starts Burb, Murasaki, Kama, KP before that. Oh, and also there is a Moriarty raid up in there somewhere, too. And then there's Lost Belt 5, which has that Jinako in the front, and then on the back it's got Arjuna Altar and also Snakeman and Wheelman.
See, I think I might be able to live without that. SR.
Yeah. Well, we talked about story locks, right? So, Asclepius and Ash are story locked. Arjuna Altar is limited, and he is really good, but also, like, you and me both have Raiko, and they'll buff Raiko shortly after that so that she's of a similar tier anyway, right? So, meta-wise, obviously, we care very little, so it's mostly just, do I care about Cat Arjuna? And I'm gonna be honest, I don't really. I'm sorry.
I'm on fucking Karna's side. That's why I need to fucking pull him now so I can get him ready, so I can have my fucking Naruto fight and use my own Karna.
Your words are meaningless to me. I get what you're going for, but I'm fine. It's fine. Oh no, Lost Belt 4 is gonna be cool. But no, that's gonna be a harsh pick because the front half banner, they're all permanent, but they're great because it's William Tell, Lakshmi Bai, and Jinako. So that's a rough one.
I'm
then the follow-up is Ash Asclepius, who I'm super excited for.
Snake.
Because he's a Greek hero who is pretty obscure, I think, but also I like him. But also he's another cool doctor.
I don't know why people should consider him obscure. His symbol is literally on like most.
I think it's because his name is weird. Like most people don't know Asclepius off the top of their head.
Yeah, it's the staff of Asclepius.
Yeah, like Caduceus, that's his thing.
Yeah, it is.
And also, he's an honorary Snek. He's the honorary caster Snek. If you want to build a Snek team or an all Snek support, you can put him in the caster slot.
Wait, does that mean I could put Mochizuka in the assassin? I think that'll work. Wait, no, that's Tenno. God damn it!
Yeah,
I want it then.
I mean, I don't mind if you put Chiome in there. Chiome's cool.
She's cute.
Saved my butt a couple of times in Lost Belt 1.
I guess
target arts assassin.
Actually, now I think about it, technically Shooting could fit in that too because descendant of Orochi, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Also, we need more. You know what we need? We need more Onis. Shuten has 4 subordinates. One of whom, by the way, Lucky, I don't know if you knew this, but one of whom is called Hoshikuma Doji, or alternatively, Hoshiguma Doji.
Oh, really?
Which is where the Arknights operator Hoshiguma gets her name.
Oh.
Yes, that's right. As Vesper just did a pun, Shuten has her own 4 Heavenly Kings. So we need a big Heavenly Kings event so we can get them all together and we can have a good old-fashioned tussle.
Well, I mean, that means that Raiko has to summon her 3 others.
Well, we should. Ibaraki has some thoughts on Suma. Cut off her hand.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, yeah.
Yeah, but right now, right now, I think they're matched. Because There's 2 shooting forms, there's 2 Raiko forms, there's 2 Kentoki forms, and there's 2 Ibaraki forms.
Yes. Oh, the Holy Kentoki War. The Holy Gold War. This is not a battle between heroic spirits for the Holy Grail. This is a battle about who Kentoki likes more.
This is a battle about Kentoki's life.
And in the meanwhile, Kentoki and the Master just like eats fucking candy or something. Like, whatever. What the fuck's happening? Honestly, that would probably be the story. The story would be Kentoki would go to Master and be like, "Yo, boss, there's some fucking dumb shit going on. We need to stop this. All right, let's just thump them. Let's just thump everybody."
That'd be nice. I think that'd be I would like that to be another event like Guda Guda what's the rerun coming up
to get? Meiji Ishin.
Yeah, Meiji Ishin. Where you basically people pick a side, so if you pick like Raiko or Shuten in battle. That'd be cool. I don't think we have we had another event like that? Where people pick sides?
Factional event? No, I don't think so. I don't think we've had faction ladders in a while. We're gonna have the rerun, obviously. And I don't know how. I think the Imperial Holy Grail doesn't work like that. I don't know what if it has a special gimmick, but it doesn't work like that. Final Guda Guda, or Guda Guda Final Wars, which is a Godzilla reference. Loth is. it may involve flashbacks, Loth. She may tell your story to you. So it's 7 segments. Hey, what have you done 7 of? I don't know what's in it, but I'm expecting it. They're gonna probably pull some memories of some stuff you did, which may involve some bosses you don't like. I don't know. It would be just like the game that Jaharazad is like, and in Camelot, you fought Gawain a lot. I like it how Loth said that, just as I said Gawain.
Oh, they literally pulled that from Apocrypha.
What's up?
I'm sorry. I'm looking at with the red eye just jumping through the mist. That's literally from the Apocrypha anime.
Okay.
But
now, what was I saying about? Oh, we were talking about. I don't know what the mechanic. I think Final Guda Guda Wars is more of almost like a turn-based strategy kind of thing where you have like a tack map that you conquer all of Japan. I think that's what the gimmick is. I don't know.
Yes.
All right. Now we're at 2 hours, so we can stop faffing.
All right.
Good joke, but possibly do I not joke? Who knows?
Who knows?
We really haven't had anything in this past hour. We're talking about Apocrypha, and I got us talking about Fate stuff.
And that's how we do.
Sometimes you just gotta chat.
A lot of people are saying that the Guda Guda story is done with Guda Guda Final, and I'm hoping not. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in their mind.
I've heard supposed claims that they were like, no, that was it, but I haven't actually seen them with my own eyes, and as is usual, nobody cites anything. So, guess what? If you say Natsu said something, unless you can show me where he said it, I don't believe you. Because this community is full of lies. I know the event is called Guda Guda Final, or Final Guda, or whatever, but also it's a reference to the titles of Godzilla movies. So, Like, I don't know if it's actually over or not. I know that they were like, oh, Halloween, we left that shit back in a previous era, which they explicitly called it out in the news article that, like, no, I think we're done doing Halloweens.
Axe, you have just straight out said things you have known nothing about.
No, I think Omega has it right. You have definitely asked questions about stuff or discussed things. I don't know if that's necessarily you intentionally lying to me, but you have definitely discussed from a pattern of not knowing what the fuck you're talking about, much like many other people. I'm not gonna, throw that at anybody.
You say partially, Axe. That means one half was.
Oh, that would be a really shitty suplex. I don't think I could suplex goo.
I
definitely need to do that in a wrestling ring with kind of the springy floor. Get some ups.
I couldn't do it with my bag right now, I'll tell you that right now.
You definitely could not.
No, I'm in pain.
I don't know. We weigh about the same.
Listen, I can pick up people like 300 pounds. I've done it.
No, you can easily lift your own body weight. Right now, when you stand up and walk around, your feet are carrying your own body weight, right? Like, you've got a lot of stuff. You just need to, like I said, I just think I might need the springy floor to get the proper tension and ups. Let's not talk about Omega suplexing. That's dumb. That's a dumb conversation. Why are we doing this?
I'd rather just drop kick somebody.
I was talking about, you just come in flying from outside the ring.
Yeah.
Through the ropes. By God, the chair. He's broken in half. Where'd you get that back? That's actually going to be... It's funny we joke about that, because that will actually be Christmas, because we're talking about seasonals. I do kind of hope, though, I was going to say with Halloween, I know that they said that it seems like, now obviously Nas could be like, nah, I'm just kidding. But it does kind of sound like they're getting away from the seasonal Halloween. I do hope that if they bring back they still keep doing events in that slot, they start with welfares, because as much as Saber Wars 2 sounded cool, it had 2 limited servants in it and no welfare. And and it did have a new Mystico, but I think it had some I think it had some difficulty and stuff in there. Like there was some work involved anyway for not a lot of free shit. And I'm like, could we have more frees though? Like, not a writer, never a writer. Stop making writers. Game, you need to stop. Stop your casters and stop your writers. Stop it. Just stop. Get help. And if you don't understand why I'm making that joke, like, just go back and look at the list Lucky gave, right, for the whole permanence. Like, notice how there are, there's like 5 casters in it, and there's 4 writers, and there would be a 5th if Odysseus wasn't brand new. Whereas there is only 2 assassins still, right?
Mm-hmm.
We really need that new permanent SSR assassin. I might be able to do some TTS. I don't know. I was kind of planning on playing a little bit more. Final Fantasy VII. That's the game I was referencing. But I might find stuff to do stuff. I do want to also, because you talked about Derp FGO.
Oh, FGO.
Not FGO. No,
Archives?
I'm being dumb. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. EDO is what it's called. We talked about that. Anyway, we're really rambling. We need to get off.
No, we don't.
Well, I might need to actually eat that second meal in there somewhere.
Okay, fine.
Because other than this big, I think, literal hour of nothing, it's 20 million. It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It's a big deal episode. People will watch it. I'm going to call it 20 million raids, feet SSR ticket, and I'll get a shitload of clicks.
That's what we want.
But I guess if we are getting towards the wind down phase, I will say. So it's a new month. I haven't posted it yet, but there will be a new poll. Our topics for Teach Omega Sensei for this month, if you're a 5 and up patron, will be what is Magecraft, what is the Divine Spirit, and what is the Nasiverse. So I'll look forward to that, patrons. And then regular people can look forward to the, the actual result. Sorry, I'm getting sleepy. I do need to do something.
He needs fuel!
I need to, drink or whatever. I don't know, all these would be fun. I'm predicting personally, based on how we've been going, it'll probably be Divine Spirit or maybe Nasiverse, because I think Divine Spirit got some votes. Was like the second place runner up last month, but the Nasiverse one is possibly going to be relevant now, especially after we talked about 4 or 5 different fates in there, and people are like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So what do we got? Just double checking. I think we covered everything.
Thanks.
Talk about Apocrypha.
Yeah.
Talk about stuff.
I like stuff.
Other than, it's cool that they hit 20 million downloads, and they did do a big celebration for it. There was a stream I didn't check out, but I think it was another one of their social distancing streams, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't really talk about it, but the SSR rotation is pretty cool. They're basically doing what we've been doing with Thanksgiving, where it's just like, hey, here's a whole shitload of limiteds, and a daily rotation.
Spend your money.
Spend your money. Keep us alive. Not that I don't... Well, it depends on where they put the money they make. But I was about to say, not that they should really need money, FGO-wise.
Well, like I was talking about with QP, money sitting around doing nothing is just wasted money.
Right. You should be saving it for something, or you should be spending it on something, so...
Yeah.
Who knows? But as far as we know, there is still a delay in the collab. That was not ready to get rolling soon. When is Golden Week? Is it right now? Is now Golden Week?
Think, this weekend, I think.
Okay.
I think it's this weekend.
So it's they're not gonna proc, even though this event should end on the, let me pull up the calendar.
Oh yeah, yep, it starts tomorrow. And goes to
so the 20 million was gonna end in the middle of the week. I'm gonna guess that it's not gonna proc that week. Hopefully it's only a week or 2 delayed, but yeah.
Like I said, we, just for a reminder, we have the Fate Requiem collab going out. No one has any idea of what the fuck is happening.
Right. And
so
it also has been officially delayed. They're it's not going to be ready for Golden Week. So
yeah,
it will not be next week unless they were surprise, we did it anyway. Unless they fucking Scotty us. I told you it was going to take 7 hours, but it only took 1. Okay, good job.
Yay,
thanks. But yeah, I feel sometime, maybe another time, we should have that meta conversation again about permanence and where the game needs to hit in terms of team comp. But we've already talked for 2 hours, so I don't know if we need to
Well, I want to, if we do that, I need to bring up, I need some fucking metrics on fucking MPs and skill spreads and shit.
We can kind of do that. Hey, if you edit or work on the Grand Order wiki, get your shit together, please. I love your layout. You are the superior wiki, but I need you to update with JP stuff. Please, thanks.
Bye.
That's I've said that a lot. Like they have a lot of features I love for doing research and stuff. They actually do that. And if you go to their like lists of classes, you can sort by card spread, you can sort by NP type and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't updated with anything new in JP since Say's event. So I'm like, I need you to update with some new shit, please. They're keeping up with basically translating JP articles into English, but for new content, they're kind of behind. And the fandom wikia is okay, but it's not perfect. And I think people have said Cernopedia used to be a big source. They haven't updated since Valentine's either. So just, I could use some fresh sources of information, and I really don't have time to run my own, guys. I'm running a fucking podcast and a YouTube channel, playing games, all those raids. We don't have time for that. Yeah, okay. I think that's a good point to start wrapping down.
Yeah. No, excuse me.
Had to take a deep cleansing breath. All right, so if we're really getting out of here, and then Lucky will talk for like 5 more minutes after I do this.
I could.
I'll remind everybody, hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to give us a like if you liked it. And if you have any comments, leave in the comment section down below, or you can hit us up on our Discord. That link is, as always, in the video description and on our channel page. It's a great place to hang out, get in some games, do some other fun stuff. And of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to always get our latest videos. That includes this show, Let's Talk FGO. That includes News Desk. That includes Wanted about new SSRs. That includes all kinds of other stuff we do. And even if you're already subscribed, make sure to hit that bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video and when we stream. It's a big deal. Like I streamed FGO a couple weeks ago. It was a thing.
That's a thing.
So yeah, keep that in mind. And of course, like it says at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early in audio format for as little as $1 a month. You can vote in polls at higher levels, listen to the show live, get shoutouts, lots of other fun stuff, and it really helps us out. And we really appreciate your support in these times where shit is weird. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, since we talked about how shit's weird, but shit's weird. Other than mentioning the delays, I guess. That's technically a related thing. We didn't say why it was delayed, but that's why. It's because of the thing. The thing.
You know the thing.
You better know the thing. Otherwise, it's kind of bad. If you haven't heard about the thing, where have you been? All right, well, that's the show. We should just go ahead and make like a leaf and get out of here.
Gonna make like a hedgehog and roll out.